Welcome back to the Dakota Brando channel. Today I am talking about The Iron Claw, directed by Sean Durkin. The film opens up with a black and white flashback to Fritz von Erich, Holt McElhaney, and we see here that being a wrestler isn't easy. And being a wrestler is more than just a sport. It's a mindset. And we see that even off the rink when he's done, the way he talks to his sons, as if he's coaching them already when they're this young. What an amazing way to open a film. Sean Durkin is an incredible director. He started his career with Indie Darlings and Sundance. And for the casting, you ask Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, and Harris Dickinson. They're going to say yes. This script is undeniable. This story is not like most. This story is filled with heartbreak, with passion, with sadness. It was last year's film in 2023. Came out. Stayed around a while into 2024, but the Academy snubbed it. This story is such a heartbreaking story, it is hard to recommend it. It's hard to vote for. But it's so important to see. The Von Erich curse is a story that has been in wrestling since the 80s. And even earlier than that, it goes back. The Von Erichs have suffered multiple tragedies in their family. And it's all summed up to a curse. People have talked about it, people have gave it a name. But this name they give it, it's not a curse. It's trauma. And trauma unspoken leads to this. Leads to a story like this. That's why it's so important that everybody sees this film. I recommend it for everyone. Not only is the acting great, the acting's incredible, but the story overall. Now, the real story, the real life story of the Von Erichs, is so incredibly sad, but true, that just like some parts of real life, it doesn't make it to the screen. There's the whole brother that was left out of this story. Because adding another death would be, unrealistic, the producers would say, for this movie. But Sean Durkin, he didn't let that scare him. He adapted this and made sure to tell it his way with his people. And Maura Tierney, who plays Doris Von Erich, the wife of Holt McElhaney's character, Fritz. Everybody just turns in an incredible performance, and yet it doesn't seem schmaltzy. It doesn't seem cheesy. Sophie's Choice and all these other films that are extremely sad can seem too daunting or too hard. Oh, I don't feel like watching that today. I want to watch this. Well, these films are important and made for a reason. They're cathartic. You shouldn't be afraid to watch sad films. A lot of the times these films are critically acclaimed for a reason, because they make you feel something. We live in a time now where IPs and franchises and ideas that have only been well tread are given the light. But Sean Durkin said, you know what? I'm going to take a story that I knew about and make a film that gives Zac Efron, the star of High School Musical, a chance to show us what he can do as a serious actor. And he does it. It's like Uncut Gems and Adam Sandler. He gives his best performance and the Academy just didn't give him that Oscar. It was in the right place at the right time, and he was in his prime. I hope to see more from Zac Efron. But as we know, the film industry can be fickle. We can typecast an actor. We can put down an actor. one decision of a snub may affect an actor for the rest of his life. It really is like that in the film industry. And now let's move on to Jeremy Allen White. Alongside Zac Efron. Zac Efron's performance wouldn't work without the other brothers holding their own. Harris Dickinson as well. Jeremy Allen White and Harris Dickinson are able to play these characters like they are brothers in real life, and that's hard to do when you're an actor. Sometimes you don't get along with somebody on the set and it comes through, or you've never been a brother, so it's hard to ever put that into your head and do that. But really, all three of them were brothers. All three of them had to handle the script and the sadness, and all of that was going on, and yet they gave the best performances of last year, I think. I am so shocked that none of these actors, including Holt McElhaney, were nominated. But why am I talking about it? Because this film tackles what a lot of people think of wrestling as toxic masculinity. The don't cry. You can't cry. You're a man. You shouldn't cry. Yet, crying and emotion is one of the first things we learn as a human being. When we're children, we cry and we sob when we want something. Why, as we get older, especially as men, that it happens that we forget that to cry is human. Trauma incarnate is this character of Fritz von Erich. Holt McElhaney embodies the role even outside of the role. He tries to understand him. In an interview he gave, he talked about how the dad was maybe underlooked or not appreciated as much. But one man can have an effect like this. I won't go into spoilers, as I don't tend to, and I don't like to. I like you to find out for yourself, but trauma is a generational thing. It's a cycle that keeps happening over and over and over again. It can happen to the body, and it can happen to the mind. What this film does is shows us exactly what it can do. In the world of wrestling, in the world of putting two physical bodies to each other in a dance, it's like a choreography. As much as wrestling fans won't admit it or don't want to admit it, it is closer to dance than anything. It's beautiful, it's heartbreaking, and it's very physical. It wears you down over time, and if not given the proper medical care, can lead to serious injury or even death. So, set a story about generational trauma in the world of wrestling that is actually based on a real life story. That's a recipe for success. And it successfully makes everyone reckon with their family and what they've been through. I was in the theater, and I talked about this in my top 5 of 2023 video. There wasn't a dry eye in the audience for this film. Sean Durkin lights the entire film as perfectly as you can as a director. He's a set design as perfectly as you can as a director. Without his direction, a lot of this would be like a Lifetime movie. It would be a true story that was meant to go to TV. But the fact that he is able to not only tell this story truthfully, wrangle all the actors that are great actors all together, talk about this trauma, and really give us one of the best pictures, if not of the year, of the decade. We'll see where it goes from here, but this is an awe-inspiring masterpiece. I gave it 5 stars. I'd give it 10. If you're wondering what to watch next, in the next couple months, look for The Iron Claw, directed by Sean Durkin, starring Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, Harris Dickinson, Maura Tierney, Holt McElhaney, and when you're watching, experience it. Feel the cathartic feeling that you're supposed to. Cry. Let it out. You're human. Thank you for watching the Dakota Brando channel, and make sure to tune in next time for my movie reviews and my debut cinema series. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for watching, and make sure to watch those films, baby.